Welcome back to The Cabin Podcast. I'm Andrea Belke.
And I'm Megan Christian.
The Cabin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Counties Association and Something Special from Wisconsin. And today we want to talk about some of the most iconic people, places, and things from Wisconsin. And I got to be honest, there's a lot. So we'll probably just be scratching the surface here, but I think it's going to be fun. And I've been learning a lot in my research. So I think it's going to be a good episode.
We also have our beloved Josh Osterman back in the cabin. How's it going, Josh?
Good. And I'm not going to talk about food today. Well, there will be food topics, but it's not all food this time.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I would argue that Josh is an iconic person from Wisconsin.
Well, yeah.
He's like,
true.
Stop.
Wait, first of all, how's your summer going?
Summer's going good. As you can see, I got a fresh tan. I was at Noah's Ark, America's largest water park, this last weekend in the beautiful Dells, which we'll touch on in this episode. But that was the first thing that we did. That was like going out as a family. We went to Eagle River a couple weekends ago and enjoyed the nice waterways up there. So that's about it for the rest of the summer, I think.
I'm itching to get back up north. I haven't gone at all this summer.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Cardarella.
He is itching to get up north too.
Yeah, he's throwing
because
stuff
he's
everywhere.
Making some noise. Nick, how's your summer going?
It's going great. I just purchased a inflatable kiddie pool that I spent the last 3 days in.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird to say he doesn't have any kids.
Yeah.
Nick was showing me pictures before this, and it looks pretty relaxing.
I'm legitimately really excited about it.
How big is it?
It's probably about the size of, 5 by 10 feet. I got a picture if you'd like to see it.
Okay.
It's good size.
Insert
How deep?
picture here.
Yeah, here we go. It's right there.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Nice. Is that a lot of upkeep? Did you have to blow it up?
It actually is. It is a lot of upkeep because we got birds flying overhead.
Oh, yeah.
Feathers and whatnot dropping in, and then there's a few storms. So I've actually I spent yesterday taking a 5-gallon bucket and emptying it all the way out so I could put clean water in there.
Oh, yeah.
So it was probably 100 different bucket scoops and dumping it into the street.
Filling up with sunscreen and all that.
Yeah, it kept me busy. Something to do.
Well, we're full swing in summer. This will come out after Summerfest, but I've been going to Summerfest every single day because I'm doing interviews for Summerfest.
Favorite show at Summerfest so far?
Oh, so far, The Killers. But I love The Killers.
I love The Killers
And
too.
then I interviewed The Fray. And there's a lot of nostalgic bands.
Yeah.
I love the throwbacks. So I love going and kind of listening to the music that I listened to when I was in.
Favorite Killer song?
Ooh, well, Mr. Brightside is a classic, but I like The Man as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Killer song?
Caution.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm out of the loop here. I just, before my time, I guess, a little bit. I know Mr. Brightside. I'm a little cultured there.
What I love about Summerfest, the venue itself is awesome. I watched Tom Petty there. It was my first concert at Summerfest. Was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in 2001 maybe? But
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah,
Huh. Hopefully you weren't the people sitting right in front of me.
probably
but,
was.
Yeah, good show.
Yeah.
I mean, Summerfest is pretty iconic to Wisconsin.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive in. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna do people, places, and things. Let's start in order. We'll do people. Some of the most iconic people from Wisconsin.
Who
Meg,
you got?
You wanna kick us off?
I'll kick us off. Oprah Winfrey came to mind first things first. Do you remember doing the wax museums when you were younger in
What?
school?
Oprah Winfrey is from Wisconsin?
She wasn't born here.
She wasn't born here, but she did spend some of her childhood in inner city Milwaukee
doesn't
with her
count.
grandma
That doesn't
and
count.
her mom. No, but she is known for this. When you're doing, that's why I asked, did you ever do the wax museum? It's because that was one of the people we got to choose from when I was in elementary school.
Really?
And I was so mad that I didn't get Oprah Winfrey. I got this lady that invented x-rays or something like that. I don't know what it was. But yeah, she grew up in inner city Milwaukee with her grandma and her mom. But then she moved to Missouri with her family. But I think it's pretty cool that she has some Wisconsin roots. She comes back to visit every once in a while, and she's pretty iconic.
Les Paul is pretty iconic.
I have him on my list too.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Waukesha, born and raised.
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool. They have something for him in the Waukesha Historical Society.
Yep.
They have some of his guitars, some of his recording devices.
Well, for people that don't know, Les Paul.
He invented the electric guitar,
Namely the Gibson.
namely the Gibson, and also kind of innovated these different recording techniques for music. So if you think about it, music really wouldn't be what it is today without the electric guitar.
Right.
Think of some of those songs like The Killers. They got pretty stellar electric guitar in there.
There's a great section of the museum in Milwaukee.
Oh, really?
This Paul section is super cool.
Dang,
Yeah.
I'll have to visit there because I haven't been to the Milwaukee Museum in a while.
Like the public museum?
Yeah, I think it's the one where like the Kid Museum is right on the shore. I
Oh.
don't know the actual name of it.
Oh,
Discovery-
World?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that what
Yeah,
it's
Discovery
called?
World. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
cool building.
Yeah.
They have like the whole history and the evolution of the guitar, and they have all these different like it's like things you can mess with and buttons you can push and see how compressors and reverb work.
Like
and-
little
Wow.
hands-on stuff for
Yeah,
kids.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah. Well, one of the most iconic actors, in my opinion, is Chris Farley.
Yep.
Yes.
Born in Madison, 1964, and then he went to Chicago, did Second City there. Lorne Michaels handpicked him, took him to New York for SNL. I mean, you have Billy Madison, Tommy Boy. It's kind of cool. I was looking up like how he spent his childhood here. He had 4 siblings, and a lot of his summers were spent as a camper and counselor at Red Arrow Camp near Minocqua.
Right. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you heard the story about him putting the scuba gear on and going to the lake, going to the bottom and taking a nap when he was hungover in scuba gear, and he came back out of the lake when he's done his nap?
What?
Really?
Yep.
I've never heard this.
Wait,
100%.
what?
When he at that camp you're talking about,
Yeah.
he's all hungover, and he went and got scuba gear, went into the lake and like went underwater and took a nap.
Is that real?
That can't
Google
be
it.
real. We're going to fact check this.
All right.
Check.
Let's. Nick, favorite Chris Farley movie, and if everybody says Tommy Boy, let's go with the second favorite Chris Farley movie.
This
Okay.
is not fair because I spent my entire middle school just absorbing all things Chris Farley with my buddy. So I'm gonna go deep cut and go almost fame.
Almost Heroes.
I-
That was mine.
Yeah.
I love that
Really?
movie. Do you know that movie?
No, I don't.
Oh, so he
I
and
don't
Matthew
either.
Perry were, it was a voyage for them to discover the Pacific Ocean out west. So Lewis and Clark were what everybody knows, and then this was the
Oh, maybe I have
the
seen
story
this.
of
I
them
just didn't
going
know the
out
name.
right along in
Oh, it's
parallel.
worth the trip.
Oh my gosh.
I
Oh, that's
think
great. A nice
Chris
pick.
Farley as the bus driver and Billy Madison.
Oh,
is
my
yeah.
favorite.
So
Oh, yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I agree. My dad like forced me to watch Billy Madison growing up. He's like, you need to watch this because you need to understand culture. And that is probably one of the funniest movies I've
I
ever seen in
think
my
Dirty
life.
Work is an awesome one which is, I mean,
That's more
he
of a
got
cameo.
his nose bit off,
Yep.
but regardless. Yeah,
I just
Almost
love how
Heroes is great.
spastic he is in all the movies.
Well, that's yeah.
That's like his character.
no,
it's
true,
awesome.
but it's also a very tragic story.
It is.
Because a lot of times,
but when he's comedic with it.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Well, just because I mean, the story. Like I was on the drive over, was listening to a podcast about his life and then his eventual passing, and it is a really eerie story with how he idolized Belushi so much, and Belushi passed at 33 to a drug overdose, and then Chris Farley as well at the age of 33. So just a comedic genius.
Yeah.
He
I
is.
mean, one of the freaking best.
Well, I give him the crown as the best.
Yeah.
Hands down, easily.
Yeah. He's pretty good. Another one I have is Mark Ruffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love me some Marvel movies. Do you guys have a favorite superhero? Marvel superhero.
Marvel superhero. I'll keep it easy. The first Captain America.
Okay. Nick.
I'm not much of a.
You're
I'm
not
across the worlds, like the
Oh,
DC
okay.
Marvel. I don't know which one's falling.
Oh,
which
okay.
one.
Well, mine is Spider-Man. I'm obsessed. Specifically the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. But Mark Ruffalo is Bruce Banner / Hulk.
Yep.
And he grew up in Kenosha, which is college town, of course. But I think it's really cool that someone of that status came from a town like Kenosha. Also, whenever I drive back home to like my mom's house, there's a giant Hulk statue on the side of the road. And I'm just like, that's so Wisconsin. That's so iconic Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a big superhero kind of gal, but that does lead me to another actor who is from Wisconsin and played the Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man, Willem Dafoe.
Yep.
Now, fun fact, his first name actually is William. So his name is William Dafoe. It was named after his dad, maybe even his grandfather, but he wanted a nickname. He didn't want to have the same name as his dad, and one of his friends called him Willem. So he goes as Willem Dafoe. Did you know this?
No,
I didn't know
You knew his
this.
name was Willem, though, right?
I had no idea.
You thought his name was
William?
William, yeah. I just thought somebody had poor English.
No, he goes as
Okay.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Did you know
I
that?
did not know that. No.
Now,
Wow.
isn't it, maybe I'm mistaken, but he kind of gets mad when people do call him William, right? Like mistake him, like interviewers and stuff. I feel like I've seen stuff like that.
I don't know. I mean, there was, okay, so he was born in Appleton, and then he went to school at UWM in Milwaukee and was in this theater group called Theater X. So he actually dropped out of college and did this experimental theater company in Milwaukee on Water Street called Theater X. And I was looking up, because when I worked at People magazine, I was always like a stickler on like pronunciations. And I was looking up, okay, how does he actually say his name?
Yeah.
And if you look at this old video at Theater X, he pronounced his name as William Dafoe, which is not how you
Really?
say it. But now as an adult, he talks
Yeah.
about Willem Dafoe. So I don't even know if he knows how to pronounce his name.
It's like one of those things where he's like trying to find his iconic actor name.
Yeah, but I mean, he obviously, I mean, I think he's been in 150 films, maybe
Dang.
4 Oscar nominations. Recently, Nosferatu, Poor Things. I mean, he's iconic.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
your favorite of his?
Nosferatu,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, that's saving for you.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, yeah.
I would say Boondock Saints. That's the one that popped into my mind first, but he's got so
Yeah.
many that I'm sure I'm missing something.
Yeah, The Florida Project. I'm trying to think what else I recently saw him in. But yeah, I think he's one of the best actors.
Oh, you know that an actor's good when they kind of make you mad during a movie.
Yeah.
So if do we want to keep it clean? Because we could throw out Ed Gein
Oh,
is an iconic Wisconsinite. Not in a
for
good way.
anything
I
good.
think it's down a dark road.
Okay.
Because
Like,
Wisconsin's pretty iconic for that whole category. Isn't it?
I know.
It's-
And so that's, do we want to keep that?
do you have a deep dive on Ed Gein?
Well, I mean, no, I didn't buy a
You have a lot
lampshade
of
from him.
facts on Ed Gein, or what's up?
No, I just, I mean, he's pretty popular in that realm. You know, he's a psycho.
He's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre motivation, right?
Yeah. It's all right. We should.
Well, Ed
we can
Gein,
move on.
I mean, he was
Yeah.
a serial killer, and he
Right.
was known for basically making lampshades out of people.
Correct.
Disgusting.
But
Yeah.
where was he from? Okay, so the butcher
Plainfield.
of Plainfield. Okay,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
too close
And
for
Dahmer.
comfort.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
keep it a
Jeffrey
little bit.
Dahmer.
We'll keep it a little bit easier. Cato Kalin, Wisconsinite.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
You didn't know that?
Wait,
No, I didn't
Who's
know
Milwaukee
that.
guy?
I'm so sorry. Who's that?
He's the key witness in the O.J. Simpson trial.
Yeah. He was
Oh.
renting the house that was on OJ's property. Yeah. He's. I mean, huge Brewers fan. Huge Brewers
Love that.
fan. Yeah.
As he should be.
Keen and Cato Kalin. Just throwing around
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. They're not the same. I mean, we could. Obviously, Cato didn't go off and.
But in
brew
that
anything.
little
Next one, Rowdy
criminals.
Fingers.
Oh my god.
Okay, Harry Houdini. So
Yep.
wasn't
Yeah.
okay, wasn't born in Wisconsin, but grew up in Appleton
Yep.
as well. And I think he was born in Budapest, and then his whole family came over. And I mean, just one of the most famous. He's like the escapist, illusionist. I mean, we had Joe Diamond in here a couple weeks ago, but I think that Harry Houdini is. I mean, he's very iconic. He did the famous. He was lifted up upside down in a straitjacket. And then untangled himself. And you have to realize too, like at that time, it was like really monumental. They actually do have, because that would have been, when was that? Like what time? I guess he was born in
1920s?
He was born in 1874 as
Okay.
Eric
Cow.
Weiss or Weiss. But then he passed in 1926. So there were actually some video recordings of some of these.
Yeah.
And it's pretty like wild to think about some of the things he's done. And he was the very famous, he was buried alive
Yeah.
and clawed his way out.
Ugh, it's creepy.
Yeah.
But he's got.
Okay, creepy coming from the guy who brought up Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, that's too creepy for you.
Yeah. Well, there's a great museum in the Appleton area for Houdini. Is it called the Houdini Museum or is it?
I am not sure, to be honest. We'd have to look it up.
Well, I think he has isn't there a square? Isn't there a Houdini square or like something in Appleton to remember him?
I'm looking it up
Yeah, we'll have to
right
find
now.
The museum itself has a bunch of artifacts and
probably
kind of
is.
guides through.
It's just a Houdini museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
cool.
And what's interesting is you would think that maybe he would have died in one of his crazy acts, but he died from appendicitis.
What? I thought he died drowning and
What?
trying to get out of
Nope.
the straitjacket.
No,
That's what people think.
That is what people think.
He got
though.
out then, huh?
my understanding is that he got punched in the stomach.
Okay, there is controversy. Yeah, there is some controversy over whether he got punched, but I think officially it says he died from appendicitis, from complications with that.
Yeah.
Maybe someone ruptured his appendix from
Correct.
punching
That's what
it.
people kind of
Right.
think.
Well, we'll leave it up to the listeners to fill us in on what the correct
Yeah,
information is.
a couple other people, Bon Iver,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
Eau Claire.
Justin Vernon
Yeah, Justin
in
Vernon.
Eau Claire.
Which also has very famous and iconic Ray's Tavern, so you can have hot beef and hot ham.
That is an iconic place. Yes,
Yes.
Josh.
Oh my gosh.
We
Do you
also
guys
have
have?
Gene Wilder.
Ooh,
yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's so many.
There's so many. We could go on and on.
So we haven't even touched it. The Kohler family, Herb Kohler just
Yep.
passed away a few years ago, but the lineage goes back, 100 some odd years. So they, obviously famous for their toilets and showers and all that. Now, I would almost say more famous for Whistling Straits, Black Wolf Run, some of the American Club,
The
and what they've
experiences.
right, the hospitality aspect of what they do, and Whistling Straits is such a gorgeous venue because if you're there and you're golfing, if you love golf and you want to challenge yourself, you go to Whistling Straits or you can go to Black Wolf Farm. Doesn't really matter. But when you're getting ready to tee off and you're looking out at Lake Michigan, and then like these rolling hills and drifts and everything, it's amazing to see it. And then you can go over to the American Club, and just being in there is an experience.
It's
just
cool.
the restaurants, the actual rooms. The rooms are outstanding.
Yeah.
I actually had a room there that was just down the hall from the haunted room, that they will say like, oh, if you request that room, they'll say, do you know it's occupied? And there's somebody that we travel with that loves to take that room because they don't believe in it. But I will say this: I walked by that room, and my room was just down the hall, and there was a 15-degree difference when I'm walking down the main hall and I turned towards my room. And I don't typically believe in that stuff, but it was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And so then I brought it up at dinner, and I was like, wow, this is a little bit creepy. And then they're like, well, what room are you in? And I said the room number, and they're like, oh, and so now I'm
Was it hotter or
Trying
colder?
to freak
it
you
was
out.
colder.
Yeah.
It was much
Yeah.
colder. Yeah. And I looked on the thermostat and it said 74, and it was no way that room was 74 degrees.
I was there not too long ago, actually, visiting the greenhouse, the little cafe
Oh, yeah.
they have in
Yeah.
the American
that's
Club.
awesome.
cute.
It's so cute. But when you walk into the American Club, it's so dark and moody. You just
Yep.
kind of like feel that little hauntedness of it. It's
Yeah.
a really cool building.
It's a very intimate place too. I mean, so like if you go to the immigrant room, like down in the lower level, and you just have drinks and some appetizers or whatever, and you're going to stay there. The rooms themselves are just gorgeous. The whole like community of Kohler is just a really cool place to go and visit. So
Yep.
the Kohler family is iconic to Wisconsin. And then we look at like the Leinenkugels, right? Also the Paps. And so
Yep.
like all of these families that have those type of ties that bring everything back to Wisconsin is just awesome. Now, I don't believe you can do brewery tours anymore in Chippewa Falls, but for years they still have the Liney Lodge there, so you can still go to
Yep.
the lodge and enjoy it. But for years it was on the same spot, 150 years plus, where you could go and you could see how the Leinenkugels came and they made their beer, and go take a brewery tour, and you can see like the old well that they first started with. And so just very iconic families that have brought every type of industry to Wisconsin, which we all enjoy, which is food and
Beer.
beer.
What's your favorite Leinenkugels beer?
Sunset Wheat, and it went out for a while, and then they brought it back, and I'm very glad that they brought it back because it's an excellent beer. It's like summer shandy and the Berry Wise, all that kind of stuff. It's like I can have one, and then it just doesn't sit right. if you just continue to have a plethora. But Sunset Wheat is some of those beers that you can sip all day. Canoe Paddler is another good one.
Oh, I haven't had that one.
Well, I don't even know if they make it anymore, but
Oh.
I think it was a
Yeah.
limited time. But it's
I
good
love
one.
a good summer shandy when
Yeah.
it's hot out.
Yeah.
Just like 1 or 2 on the boat.
Right.
Good to go.
Okay, before we move on to places, though, a couple more people. Okay, Laura Ingalls Wilder. Almost
Yep.
forgot about
Can't
her.
forget. Yeah.
So Pepin, Wisconsin.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool. I grew up reading the books. Did you read Little
Oh,
House
yeah.
on the Prairie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I also watched the show.
I was going to say the show was
Yeah.
always on.
No, I know. I mean, when I was younger, that was my jam. Like, I was a big reader, and
Yeah.
so I loved Little House on the Prairie.
Who was
So-
the blonde, obnoxious friend of Laura Ingalls Wilder?
Oh, I don't know if I would be able to. I mean, I probably read this when I was 7.
I was going to say, I
was thinking of the
watched
show.
this when I
Oh,
was
the show.
probably
I never
7.
watched the show.
Oh,
Okay.
really? It's a good show.
Nick?
I have no idea.
Are you thinking of Nellie Olson?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Even though Nellie's my dog's name and I love that name, Nellie to me will always be,
Trigger it.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Laura Ingalls, 1867, in a log cabin near Pepin. And even though they ended up moving, obviously, it was that was the beginning for her, where a lot of her books were inspired by the dense forest there and growing up and all the chores she did. And so Pepin, they host Laura Ingalls Wilder Days every September. So this year it's September 13th and 14th.
Yep.
Honestly, it sounds really fun.
They have a museum there too.
Yep.
I was going to ask
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
There's a museum there. They have, at this festival, they have a parade, craft demos, fiddle contests,
Oh.
okay,
Ooh.
tomahawk throwing, pie eating competitions,
There you go, Josh.
I need a good pie.
quilt shows. There's a Laura lookalike contest. And okay, something I think is fun is there's a kid competition where certain age categories you come in and they quiz you on the books. And I just feel like 10-year-old me would have crushed that.
Yeah.
Like they come
Brush
in and do-
up. Go try it
I'm too
out.
old now. I think that the cap is age 14.
Oh, well.
But that sounds like a really fun thing if you're, if you are a fan and maybe you read the books. That's,
So-
the 13th and 14th of September in Pepin.
Well, that's perfect because then you can drive the Great River Road and you can stop at all the places along the way, like Stockholm Pies. So if they're going to have a pie eating contest, hopefully they're getting the pies from Stockholm Pies because it is one of the top 20 in the country for pie shops.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Wow.
legit pie in Stockholm. And it's, you blink and you miss it, like when you're
Yeah.
driving through. But the museum is right along the Great River Road. And if you drive it in the fall, you get to see the color change. Mid-September might be a little early, but
Yeah.
roll the dice.
Yeah.
Do it anyway.
That's a bucket list thing for me. Great River Road, Laura Ingalls Wilder's museum. I've always wanted to go because anytime I was like with a babysitter or something, they'd put on Little House on the Prairie. It's kind of nostalgic.
So is that based on Wisconsin then, since she's from here?
The
Inspired.
Early,
Yeah.
the especially the first book and like the early years, because that was her growing up, doing the chores, her family, all of that.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
I know. I actually recently, I learned that maybe this year at some point, but growing up, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also Frank Lloyd Wright.
I was just going to
Frank
say
Lloyd
it. Yeah.
Wright. I forgot about him. Well, that kind of leads into like places
Yeah.
too. So obviously iconic architect, born in Richland Center and then later moved into Spring Green, which is iconic for House on the Rock, Taliesin,
No,
all
hold
of
on.
that.
House on the Rock and Taliesin are two totally different things.
No, I
and
know.
They'll battle each other on that one.
I'm sure they will, but those are two things in Spring Green is
Yes.
what I'm saying.
And American
Two
Clears
iconic.
Oh, no,
Theater.
it's not a Frank Lloyd
That
Wright,
too.
though. The House on the Rock.
House on the
House
Rock,
on the
is,
Rock
not.
is not.
No.
No. And
no, but
it's-
Taliesin is.
And Frank Lloyd Wright
Yes.
fans will be very, they will.
It was like his
They will
Padawan,
correct us.
right?
Yeah,
Well,
they battle on that.
I know that they're not by the same person. I was just saying
Yes.
those are two things in Spring Green, Wisconsin.
So have you been to Taliesin?
I haven't. I've driven past it though because I have been to House on the Rock, and
Okay.
when you're in the area, you obviously have to drive
Right,
past it
right.
and see all the different buildings and stuff. But his architectural style, particularly the Prairie School design, is heavily influenced by Wisconsin landscape, which is what I found out when I was researching this. But Taliesin is in Spring Green. It was his home, estate, and studio. Kind of cool. And then you have Unity Chapel, Unitarian Meeting House, S.C. Johnson Administration Building, and Research Tower. That's in Racine, and that was designed by him. And then I found out, I did not know this, Monona Terrace in Madison was designed by him, but completed after he died.
Yeah, it was his vision, but it was, even when you go there, like the carpet, the way the lights are, I mean, everything in that building is very Frank Lloyd Wright-esque. And it's beautiful. I think when they host events, I've some of the nonprofits I've been with, we'll have our big annual galas there, and it's really kind of neat when you walk in and you see it, and the visuals that he had in his mind of being able to look at the lake and just kind of have it just be a part of the building was outstanding. And then with like there's Wing Spread, which is in Racine as well. And, that was the birthplace of, I want to say the NEA, and public radio, I believe. That's what they used to have all these major decision makers from all over the country come to this building. And then they would have a retreat because it was such a beautiful place to be. And then they would come up with all these things to give back to everybody. And then that was one of the areas. But Taliesin itself is a really cool tour to go to. So, and I've been on a tour there where you're there with like Frank Lloyd Wright fans and they are totally into it. And then you have people that are just curious and want to, see what it's all about. And then you had somebody like me who really likes the architecture of the building and kind of like seeing what it looks like. And that part of Wisconsin, it's still in the Driftless, which we'll talk about in the iconic places. But it's just so beautiful because it's like these rolling hills, and then you can see, for miles off in the distance if you're on a high point. But his buildings are built like into the hillside, so it just kind of they just kind of envelope within the topography itself, and it's just really a cool tour to go to. And you go to the main building, like his house, and then you can go over to the studio where he taught all of his people to how to do it. And I don't like the traditional cookie cutter type of homes, and you see a Frank Lloyd Wright house and it's like, it's just you have to just wonder what goes through their minds and trying to come up with something and visualize that. It is a really cool tour if you're a fan of it. And even the drive from, like, let's say Madison to that part of the state,
so pretty,
gorgeous. I mean,
so pretty.
You're going through all these little towns along the Wisconsin River, the lower Wisconsin River. There's the lower Wisconsin River scenic byway that goes through there. It's an awesome part of the state. It's a really cool history. And then you can take the Frank Lloyd Wright trail, and you can take it from all the way from like Richland Center, go through all these things, and then end up in Racine.
Yeah, so the trail is 200 miles across Wisconsin through southern Wisconsin, and there's all 9 sites across it. Right. But I think it's cool, like, when you're seeing a Frank Lloyd Wright house, whether it's in Wisconsin, Arizona has a ton too, which is really cool because they have a little Taliesin out there too. But yeah, really cool. Also, little fun fact, Taliesin is part of the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization World Heritage Site. Mouthful. Wow. But it's pretty cool.
The Del Bar, I mean, if anybody's eaten at the Del Bar, one of their main parts, I mean, the building was designed by a Frank Lloyd Wright disciple. So one of the people that studied under him.
You can tell.
You can tell. Yeah. It's really kind of you can see it, like what you said, you can see his impact on buildings throughout the state of Wisconsin. And you can see them all over in Chicago and, across the United States, but it's heavily focused in Wisconsin itself.
The Cabin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Counties Association, and this week we are featuring Pierce County. Pierce County was established in 1853 and named after Franklin Pierce, the 14th president of the United States. Pierce County is a place where rolling bluffs, charming river towns, and outdoor adventure meet. It's a hidden gem nestled along the beautiful St. Croix River. Outdoor enthusiasts have a lot of options as you are nestled in the driftless region of Wisconsin. You can hike the trails at the Kinnickinnick State Park, bike the scenic Great River Road, or kayak the backwaters of the Mississippi. For history buffs, head to Prescott, the oldest city on the St. Croix, or enjoy the college town energy of River Falls, which is home to UW River Falls and has a bustling music and art scene. The county seat is Ellsworth. Fun fact, Ellsworth was declared the cheese curd capital of Wisconsin by Governor Anthony Earl in 1984, and they host the annual Cheese Curd Festival there. Ellsworth is home to the Ellsworth Cooperative Creamery, and if you head there, you can try cheese curd flavors like garlic, Cajun, ranch, hot buffalo, and taco. For more information, go to wicounties.org.
The Cabin is also brought to you by Something Special from Wisconsin. Want to discover the heart and soul of our great state? Let me introduce you to Something Special from Wisconsin, a remarkable program that has been connecting consumers with genuine Wisconsin products since 1983. This initiative not only promotes the rich agricultural heritage of Wisconsin, but also highlights the incredible talent and creativity of local producers. These producers are dedicated to crafting quality products that not only satisfy taste buds, but also put Wisconsin on the map as a leader in local goods. Their passion for their craft shines through in every item they create, making it easy for consumers to choose locally made products with confidence. Next time you're strolling down the aisles of your local grocery store, keep an eye out for the iconic vibrant red and yellow logo, the Something Special from Wisconsin seal of quality. But Something Special from Wisconsin isn't limited to grocery stores. You can find our members at farmers markets, craft fairs, and even upscale restaurants, showcasing the very best that Wisconsin has to offer. Learn more about Something Special from Wisconsin, membership, and how it can benefit your business at somethingspecialwi.com.
Well, since we're talking about places, I'm going to ask you a tough question.
Okay.
If someone is coming from out of state and they're asking you, Josh, top 3 iconic places in Wisconsin, what are your top 3?
Ooh.
I'm going to flip it to you. Where are they coming from?
Okay, that's a good question. Really out of state. Like they're not in the Midwest. They're coming from
Nevada.
Yeah, they're coming from
Okay.
Nevada.
So somebody from Nevada, maybe they want to see the bluffs and bring it back to something that a more mountainous region, right? So if you get into the driftless and you get the dells, the rock formations in the dells, I don't think there's anything that beats that in the state. And this is coming from somebody that grew up north. And when you're driving around in the dells and you see the rock formations and you're on one of the lakes or you're in the river and you're going through and it's just a straight up rock wall and it's got these big towering pines and it's such a beautiful experience. Then you go to let's say the Great River Road area. If you're up by La Crosse and you're taking a look at on the top of the bluff, if I was a mountainous person, that makes me feel like I'm home. Because like you can see forever, you can see into Iowa, you can see into Minnesota, you see the Mississippi cutting through. It's just such a massive, beautiful natural wonder that this state has. But then if they really want like that thick forest lake type of a feel, go up north. And I don't care where you go up north, just go up north. And, so I grew up in Rhinelander. I love that area. I love the lakes. I love the greenery. If you go to Eagle River area, if you're over by Ashland and you're cutting through. So it was just a couple of weeks ago, I had to drive. We had some work functions in Barron County and Burnett County. And then we had to go, we spent the night in Superior. I took roads that I've never taken before. They were like county roads. And we're just driving along and it's just like, you're just in awe of the beauty of Wisconsin because it's like these rolling hills, yet you have lakes and you have these big pine trees and all these beautiful trees like everywhere. And they're green, which is different from like, if you go out west, you see a lot of beetle kill. And so like there used to be green trees out there. Now it's like you can look at a landscape and you can see pockets of green and then dead trees. In Wisconsin, we're fortunate because we have green trees. And it's like just driving down the interstate, going up past Wausau, and you crest that hill where Brokaw, the town of Brokaw used to be. Now I think it's Maine. I don't know. Town of Brokaw doesn't exist anymore, but you crest that hill and you can see for miles and it's just rolling hills of green. And that is something that if somebody's from out of state, you could say, go to Door County and you could say, isn't this beautiful? It reminds you of the East Coast. You can go to La Crosse, you can go to the Dells and it makes you feel like you're in the mountains. You can go up north and it just makes you feel like you're lost, like you're in Canada. Or if they want an urban type of landscape, downtown Milwaukee, is pretty tough to beat, you know, because it's so beautiful. So really, I did not answer your question, but
You kind of did. You said basically the Dells and the Bluffs up north, and then for an urban landscape, Milwaukee downtown. It's great. There's 3.
there you go. Okay.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
One that popped into my head when you were talking about up north and getting lost is Little Bohemia.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if you go up there and kind of check out the history of Al Capone and is it Dillinger that was Little
Yeah.
Bohemia?
They have a good fish fry there too.
Yep. Yeah, I got the bullet holes in the window. It's super cool.
Oh, we should do a deep dive on that sometime.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
really cool.
you'd really like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did do a tour. I went to all those spots and saw like Al Capone's house on a lake up in Three Lakes or Eagle River, and then went into Little Bohemia. It was wild. They had his clothes in a display. Dude was like, what, 5'1"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked wild. Really
There's
small.
another iconic person, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Chicago though.
Yeah. I think also
Yeah.
on the nature side of things, you have Pattison State Park in
Oh, yeah.
Superior.
Absolutely.
Oh, beautiful.
That's a classic. I mean, you have the tallest waterfall in Wisconsin, 165 feet, Big Manitou Falls. You also have Little Manitou Falls. I think that's a really, really good one, especially if you're up in that area.
Right. So did either of you film at Apostle Islands?
I did.
You did.
Yep. We were up in Ashland County, I believe, or Bayfield County, one of the two.
Yep.
But oh my God, that's got to be one of my favorite places to go. We talk about it on the podcast all the time, but you feel like you're in Maine or something.
Right.
It's just gorgeous. The marinas, the islands.
How did you
unmatched.
get out to Apostle Island? Was it a
We actually had a private charter,
Okay.
Escape Excursions. She was great,
Yeah.
but we got to take a nice little private boat ride out there to Bassett Island, do some hiking down to the quarry. But I've taken a ferry before to Madeline Island, and
Right.
that's an awesome experience that anyone should take, honestly.
Yeah.
But
It is, like you think about the Great Lakes that we have, the coastline in the Great Lakes. We've done a couple episodes. One of them that we did was it's called Coastal
Byways?
Coastal Byways. Yeah, so it was a Lake Superior Scenic Byway. So you're taking Highway 2, and then you get off on you're going up like through Washburn and the city
neat
of
little
Bayfield.
town.
Oh, it's just awesome. And then there's little waterfalls along the way, which you did something in, like you had that
Yep.
short was awesome. And in the Door County Coastal Byway, that you literally feel like you're in New Hampshire or you're on,
Yeah.
like you're on the East Coast.
Secluded.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's so beautiful. But my favorite part about Door County is the tip. So, and I would say the tip and then the lakeside, not the bayside, because everybody goes to the bayside. The place is
true.
packed.
Yep.
And then if you go up to the tip, so it's like you can take the ferry and you can go up to Washington Island, or you can go around the lakeside and hit, is it Newport State Park? I think it's Newport. And that is like, there's not a lot of people that go up there because it's a commitment to go there. And when you're there, it is one of the top places to go stargaze in all of Wisconsin.
Yep.
Because there's no light pollution, and if you catch it on a good night with the Northern Lights, beautiful.
It's a certified dark spot, right?
Yeah, certified dark. Yep.
Yeah.
And then you can go down the lakeside and you go towards is it White Sand Dunes State Park. Love that
Gorgeous.
place. Love it. And you can be on the beach there and you go down. I've said this before on the podcast. We go down to the dog park beach because you got to walk like a mile and a half.
Yep.
When you get there, there's usually nobody there, and it looks like and feels like a beach in Florida. I mean, it's just like the sand is perfect. There's the waves are coming in. Now, when you go in the water, it's about as cold as you can imagine, but it's just it's naturally it's one of the most beautiful places that you can ever see.
It's pretty iconic that we have 2 Great Lakes bordering Wisconsin
Yeah.
now. You have Superior
Yep.
and Lake Michigan. I'm biased to Lake Michigan because I went to school on it, but that's pretty dang cool.
What do you like, Superior or Michigan better?
I'm Michigan, but I'm also biased because I grew up on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I think Lake Superior has a lot of little hidden gems, little areas you can get off. Lake Michigan to me feels like it's gorgeous. There's a lot of great little towns that you can go up. You can take the highway and go run all the way along the lakeshore, and you go to Port Washington, you go to Algoma, Kewanee, all of it, and it's a really cool drive. But I don't think enough people go to Lake Superior. because it is
Yep.
just absolutely stunning. And if you're in the Chequamegon Bay, right around like Bayfield and Ashland,
Yep.
it's an awesome place to be.
It is gorgeous.
All right.
Some fast facts, actually, quick on the Great Lakes. Wisconsin and New York are the only two states that border two Great Lakes. So that makes Wisconsin pretty unique, and New York. So you've got two good states in your little inventory there, Andrea. And then Lake Michigan is the largest lake entirely within one country and is the 5th largest freshwater lake in the world by surface area, 2nd largest of Great Lakes by volume behind Superior.
All right,
Okay.
we got to move on to things. I mean, obviously, we're not able to cover everything. There's so many more iconic places in Wisconsin. This episode is just to wet your palate,
Yeah.
right? We could
Yeah,
go in a deeper dive of all these things. But let's hit a couple iconic things
Okay.
made in Wisconsin.
What do you got?
Oh, there's so many. But okay, interesting. The first American kindergarten.
I
Yep.
had that too.
Is that
Yeah.
Ripon, Wisconsin?
No, that was in Watertown.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I lived in Watertown for 2 years.
1856. And so that was Marguerite Meyer Schurz. And so she was inspired by her studying in Germany and learning about education there. And so started the first kindergarten, which it was the first time they had the concept of kind of this school based on play and social interaction before formal schooling. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, she was a German native too, so it kind of gives those German roots to Wisconsin, you know. I know so many German and Irish people from here. It's insane, me being one of them. But you know what I found that I had no clue, and I was like, whoa, American Girl dolls.
Yeah.
Did you know this?
Yeah.
Did you have a lot growing up, Andrea?
Not one.
Really?
They're expensive.
They're expensive, but I was obsessed with them, and I got one every single year growing up for
Wow.
Christmas. I had horses. I had the doll. Like, it was
Do the
Getting out of
American
hand.
Girl dolls have horses?
yeah, some of them.
Because my parents were a bit anti-dolls. Just what it was.
They said,
we only
"Get outside."
Play
Play
get
with the
outside,
animals.
play in the dirt. We had model horses, so from our hardware store. So,
Well, there you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
So we just had tons of model horses, but I never had any dolls. But
Yeah, these were invented in Middleton, Wisconsin by the Pleasant Company in 1992. They saw a gap in the market between infant dolls and Barbies and said, we want to get something a little bigger, something between the age gap. But what I think is really cool about American Girl dolls is they go along with the American Girl doll books. So they kind of tell the stories of the different girls and history
To
within
be honest, I
different...
had no idea they had books.
Really?
Nick, did you know that?
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay,
American
fair
Girl
enough.
dolls.
I
Come on, Nick.
do not know anything
it's
about them.
major. I mean,
It's
everyone knows
major.
what American Girl dolls.
They
are.
come
do
in a
not
big box,
You've never
kind of
heard
like
of-
Barbie.
Are they like the porcelain ones that blink separately?
No.
No.
I have no idea. That.
No.
Come on, Nick.
I
But-
don't know them.
American Girl dolls are huge because like little girls or boys growing up can dress them up, you know, do their hair. They can take them to the American Girl doll place in Chicago and do their nails together, get them something to eat. It kind of just like revolutionized dolls, I guess, because again, I was obsessed with these. But I do think it's cool that it all ties into history, tells you about the time frame. So these kids are learning as they have their dolls, which is pretty cool. Do you have any, Josh?
Facts?
Iconic things.
Wow, I could go up. So, bratwurst. I mean, obviously, did we create the bratwurst? No. Did we perfect it? We absolutely did. And I would say our beer, our toilets, you know, all of that. It's a very Wisconsin type of thing. But I'm going to go to the Kringle.
Ooh.
The Kringle, the state pastry.
Yes.
You can go O&H Bakery in Racine.
You gotta.
You can go Racine Kringle, which is all over. They used to have there was a bakery here called Lane's Bakery in Madison, which has since closed, but they made a great Kringle. And if you can get a good Kringle, and it's a Danish delicacy. So did we create it? Did we invent it? No, but again, did we perfect it? Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when Racine County is producing all of these Kringles and they send them all over the globe, essentially. That's why we are the best when it comes to making Kringles. And I say that about supper clubs. I could say invented and perfected supper clubs.
No, we didn't invent it.
Okay, well, we perfected it.
Because I had to look that up for something, and I think the first one was in California. It was.
Well, they don't know anything about a supper club.
What's your favorite Kringle flavor?
If it's O&H, I like to do a little bit of the cream with a cherry or
Okay.
a raspberry, whatever.
I love a raspberry Kringle.
And if I do a Racine Kringle, they're a little bit less dense than the O&H. Then I know I'm going to go with just a straight raspberry. I'm going to do it. And it's great. You used to be able to get them at Costco for like $5.99 for a Kringle. And I would, every time I was in Costco, well, I must want to get one of these. And then you chop them up in all these little pieces. And so you get mad at me. We don't need another Kringle. But then whole family would be eating Kringles. Everybody's happy. So.
Oh, yeah. They have the Racine Kringle in Sendix, and it is very yummy. They have the mini ones, too. So I can get them without feeling guilty for eating the whole thing.
So, and anytime that I'm through and I stop at like an O&H, those things just pack so much weight to them. And it's like, I can usually do a pretty good dent on a Kringle, but if I do an O&H, it's I can do a couple of pieces. It is a bring it for the party type of thing.
A couple other things. Hamburger. I love that fact.
Yep.
So that was 1885. It was Charlie Negreen in Seymour, Wisconsin. He took meatballs at the county fair. He smashed them into a burger, put them on bread, and then created the hamburger. There's the statue there, Hamburger Charlie. They also have Burger Fest, which sounds really fun. When is it August 8th and 9th. So there's hot air balloons. There's the large ketchup slide. I'd pay money to have you go down the large ketchup slide.
Can you imagine the smell at Burger Fest?
Oh. Probably really good, actually.
They have a 200-pound burger that they bring out. Yeah, I mean,
medium well.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Burger Fest. Also the typewriter, the first commercial typewriter, 1874.
Really?
Yeah. So that was invented in Milwaukee, Wisconsin by Christopher Latham Souls. I think they were working on it for about 7 years and had it, but the first commercial one was 1874, which it is wild to think about. Newspapers, everything was handwritten before the typewriter.
Well, and then the typewriter innovates to the keyboard, which everyone uses now. So for work daily.
Andrew, do you remember when they had, did you have to use typewriters in school?
No.
Nick?
Did you?
Keyboard.
Yeah, like a keyboard, but when they made when it was a typewriter and then it was an electric typewriter. And it was
when were you born?
Well, I mean, I'm not that old. We had it in the first few years of like elementary school.
Were you driving to school at 6 miles per hour?
Yeah.
Did you guys have to take like keyboard class?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was a master at the keyboard tests.
Well, I'm sure you as well. I feel like the first time I had to take a keyboard class, I thought it was so stupid. What's the point of this? We're not going to use this.
Right.
A phase.
Yeah. I honestly thought it was a phase.
Oh my gosh.
Does somebody have custard on their list?
No, but do you know what I do have?
What?
Ginseng.
Oh,
Iconic to Wisconsin.
it is. Yeah.
We have a uniquely Wisconsin short on it. So we are the leading producer of ginseng in the United States.
I know, that is a
which
wild
is
fact.
insane. Almost 98% of cultivated ginseng is grown in Wisconsin in Marathon County.
Right.
So ginseng, for people who don't know, it's an herb used in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries, but it's believed to have various health benefits, improve your cognitive function, help with stress and anxiety. Maybe I need to take some
Let's get
ginseng.
some ginseng up in here.
Lower blood sugar, improve athletic performance, male fertility, upper respiratory infections. Helps with a lot.
Yeah.
So
it's like a wonder drug.
it is.
Essentially what it is. And
Talk to your doctor before you use it.
it was, so we are doing a uniquely Wisconsin on this for Marathon County. It'll come out this fall. Really, it is iconic to the industry and like the economic focus in Marathon County. And it stretches out too. I mean, it goes, there's in and around the Wausau area, but then as you go west in the county, as it becomes more of that farmland and get towards Athens, there's a bunch of farms in that area. And there used to be, much like dairy farms, there used to be a lot of independent, smaller farms.
Yep.
Now there's bigger operations and whatnot to keep up, but there's a lot of export business for ginseng in that part of the state that will go overseas. So it's very impactful for the economy of Wisconsin. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And were you saying custard was, because I know the ice cream sundae was invented here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe custard was created in Milwaukee. Don't fact check me on that. I'm just going to agree with myself that was correct.
I mean,
What is the-
Culver's. So,
outside of Culver's, because Culver's does have excellent custard.
Yes.
What is your favorite custard? Can you have custard?
Nah, I mean, if I get some Lactaid, yeah.
she'll risk it.
I mean,
It's worth it.
actually do. I like ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
I would
What's
say
your-
Cops.
Yeah, I was going to
Oh,
say
yeah,
Cops
Cops
as
is-
well.
Or Oscars.
So I don't know which one I like better, Cops or Custard, or Cops or Oscars.
If Cops is busy, like I'm skipping it and I'm going to Oscars because it's not too far away. But my dad's favorite is Oscars. My mom's favorite is Cops.
Oh.
So I went to both. But also the Kilty has really good
I
custard.
was just going to ask you about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Great
they have
custard.
really good burgers too.
Yeah.
Speaking of the burger guy.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah. That's such a surprisingly good spot that never gets talked about enough.
I know.
Is it on the east side of Oconomowoc?
It's right off of 16, right by Oconomowoc Lake. I'm very directionally challenged, so couldn't tell you what direction.
But it's your
that's in.
old-fashioned drive-in.
Yes.
Well, we gave it a lot of love last week.
We did.
You did?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I should know because I listened to the episode.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I mean, I feel like there's obviously so much more we can talk about, but we are kind of out of time. We'll have to do a follow-up episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there's so many different iconic things that if you look at
surfboards,
Harley, surfboards,
if you look at Wisconsin, and this isn't a comment to pat ourselves on the back, but Wisconsin itself draws so many visitors that come in because of our natural beauty. Like we're surrounded in the Midwest by people from Iowa, people from Illinois, even Minnesota will come across the border, and like Michigan has natural beauty. Wisconsin has natural beauty. These two states always will compete against each other to bring people in. And when people do come in, they're blown away by the different types of natural beauty that we have. And then you mix it in with some of the great things that we provide. Wisconsin is really an unbeatable state. We have a lot of pride in it. And I think there's no hidden fact that we Wisconsinites love Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. But if you think about it, so we're talking about Chequamegon Bay, going all the way up and seeing the Apostle Islands. That is a 5.5 to 6 hour drive from Madison. Mm-hmm. So if you go all the way up there, you have to commit to going up there. Mm-hmm. But while you're going up there, you're going to go. You can go multiple different ways. You can go through the Driftless. You can go through the Dells. You can go through Eau Claire. You can stop at Ray's, get a hot beef. Then you can go all the way up, and you can hit the lake, and then head over towards like Ashland or whatever. Or you can go up and you go through Minocqua, then you go through Manitou, Washington. You see that Iron County type area, the Vilas County, and the Nida County. So you're going to see that beautiful Northwoods. Plus, you'll pass Plainfield, so you can stop by Ed Gein's and go lampshade shopping. But then, but if you get up there, there's so many awesome like little restaurants to stop at. There's so many little. It's just this state is awesome, and if you can experience it, if you can go all the way up and you can see all the different parts of the state, you'll really understand what we're talking about. Why Door County looks and feels a lot different than La Crosse County or down by Potosi, but it doesn't make one better than the other. They're just awesome to experience. Yeah.
What would you say is your guys' most surprising one of these that you figured out today? Mine's the American Girl dolls. I had no clue they were invented in Wisconsin.
Again, like you said, even though we know about it, like let's say Les Paul, like the impact that Les Paul made on the music industry from, for decades now and it all came from Wisconsin. I mean, it's really kind of neat. And if you go over towards Sparta, they have McPherson guitars made in the Sparta area. And there's all these musical festivals. You could pick any part of the state and go to an awesome music festival. Like Hodag is coming up this weekend. That you get 40-some thousand people going to the little town of Rhinelander. Then you got Summerfest going on at the same time. Yeah. Or you can go to Thunder Boom in La Crosse. You can go all over the place. Alpine Valley is just an awesome place to go watch a concert.
Otis Redding and Stevie Ray, that whole
yeah. I mean, we're lucky.
Yeah. I also think what's interesting to me is because I grew up in theater acting, the big ones are Chicago, LA, and New York. I mean, that's where a lot of people go to school for theater and for acting. But it's kind of cool to hear, Chris Farley was in an improv group in Madison, Arc Improv. And then Willem Dafoe, one of the greatest actors of our time, 150 films, was in Theater X, an experimental theater company on Water Street in Milwaukee. And we don't get a lot of that. And so when you do hear there was these cool experimental theater groups in Wisconsin, that gets me. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, needless to say, there are so many iconic people, places, and things in Wisconsin, and we just brush the surface of them. So I'm excited to maybe do a little part 2 of this sometime. Yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. It's all the
Thanks for
time we got
having me.
for today. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and we will see you next week.
Bye. Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin. Experience the difference. Come get away and experience gaming in a whole new way. Ho Chunk Gaming offers a range of adventure and entertainment by offering gaming excitement and relaxing accommodations all in one place. Whether it's discovering your favorite slot machine, doubling down on their tables, or rolling your luck with the throw of the dice, this will be the getaway you've been searching for. While you're there, sign up to become a free member of their rewards club to receive our special members-only discounts, promotions, and so much more. Ho Chunk Gaming, where the grown-ups play big. Your grown-up getaway. Locations in Madison, Wisconsin Dells, Black River Falls, Nakusa, Toma, and Wittenberg. Must be 21 to gamble.
Lincoln County is your ultimate summer playground. Spend your days paddling down the Wisconsin River, exploring miles of ATV and UTV trails, or discovering hidden gems like Timms Hill, the highest point in Wisconsin. With local festivals, farmers markets, and live music adding to the charm, every moment is unforgettable. Lincoln County, where the Northwoods start and your adventure begins. Plan your next adventure today at www.co.lincoln.wi.us. Today's episode of The Cabin was hosted by Andrea Belke and Megan Christian and produced by Andrea Belke. Audio engineering and video teasers by Nick Cardarella and Megan Christian, with social media by Megan Christian. Production support by Gavin McLean. The Cabin is a production brought to you by Discover MediaWorks. To learn more, head to discovermediaworks.com and don't forget to leave a review.